Hey everyone, so Ayah and I are here to do a little newborn essentials video, and she's gonna be in the video as much as she can, and then when she gets fussy we'll put her down with the first thing on my list for a newborn essential, the pacifier. You guys, this is so important. I know it's common sense, but I didn't realize how important it is because a lot of people are against pacifiers. I don't understand why. If they give them at the hospital, that means it's okay with me. So she loves this thing. Anytime she's a little fussy or I could tell she's getting hungry, I need to feed her soon, I buy time basically by putting the pacifier in. And then at nighttime, as she's getting tired and cranky, I put the pacifier in and she's good. Or if I give her a bath, she's hungry, I have to feed her, I give her the pacifier, I change her into her pajamas, and she gets through it. So pacifier is awesome to buy time. It's meant for soothing babies, and it actually does soothe the babies. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Right? You love this, but you're never fussy because you're an angel baby. Yeah, you are. Okay, next up on my list. Oh, she's sleeping. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna put her in her crib so I could continue the video. All right, the next most important thing is the onesie, you guys. Yeah, any onesie. You think it's like, oh, look at this cute little onesie, let me get this onesie, and then you bring your newborn home and they're crying and you just want to change them quickly and it's causing so much anxiety for you. No, you need to get a specific onesie. The snaps, the worst, especially the first 3 months, because they're just so uncomfortable being on the changing table and you quickly want to change them. They're cold, they're hungry, and the snap's like, snap, snap. It takes forever. So, zipper onesie, make sure you have like 15 zippered onesies. And the next important thing is when you bring them home, that their sleeves have the covers. Because babies' nails are super sharp. It doesn't matter how much you cut them or file them, they're super sharp. So it's literally razor blades on their face, and then you see the little babies with cuts all over. No, if you have this at night especially, or when they're napping, it will not happen. And then make sure they have little footies because you don't want their little toesies getting cold. Okay, and then we got the swaddle. I finally learned how to use the swaddle as she's supposed to get out of the swaddle. But Anais actually did a really great video on how to swaddle, and I highly recommend watching it because that's how I learned how to swaddle. I was having a lot of difficulty. If you guys are wondering about the swaddle, I was checking forums about if I should swaddle her, if I should not swaddle her, why do people swaddle? So basically the reason they swaddle is to keep them tight, and it's kind of like reminding them of being in your womb. So if you give them too much space, they also have like reflex, so they're like, and it startles them and wakes them up. So this swaddling your baby controls them from the startle reflex, and it keeps them cozy, reminding them of your womb. So highly recommend the swaddle, you guys. Make sure it's the big one, so it's easier to use versus the little ones where you swaddle and you're like, oh, where am I supposed to tuck this in? All right, so we got the pacifier, we got the onesie, and the swaddle. What was next? A beanie. I didn't have any beanies. I think I used the hospital one the first week until I could get out of the house quickly and go and get a beanie because she was living in that, especially because she was born in the wintertime as well. But even if they're born in the summertime, when they're just born, you want to keep their little heads warm. So have a lot of beanies on hand, you guys. I still put them on her after I bathe her until I put her to bed, just so she's not cold, and it's come into handy a lot. Okay, what's next? Oh, thermometer. So this one is awesome because it's automated. It says head and ear. So you place this against your head basically, and you press the button, and if it's green, basically she's okay. If it's red, that means she has a fever. So this has been really useful, again, because of the flu going around and my paranoia that she's gonna get sick. I hear everyone's sick, all their babies are sick, so I've been really cautious. She's 3 months, I'm just starting to introduce her to people. So this is really, this comes into handy because you don't want a baby to get a fever. It is detrimental ill. So I'm paranoid about the safety of my baby, obviously, and I check her temperature several times a day. I might be a little extreme though. Next up is this product I discovered, Little Martin's Drawer brand. And it's a nail filer. So one of the anxieties I had before Ayah was born was I had to cut her nails. I don't know why, I just was so scared to do that. Like I felt like I'm gonna cut her and she's gonna bleed. So I was super paranoid, and after doing some research I found nail filer. So it comes with a battery. You literally just, it's so easy. She loves it. She just sits there. She's not bothered by it. I just grab her little fingers and quickly file her nails. It literally takes seconds, and it buys me a week. So definitely highly recommend this. I'll put a list and links to all the products I'm talking about today in the description below, so you guys can have access to it as well. Next up is another product Ani talked about, and now that she's about almost 3 months, she's developing her motor skills, and she's actually paying attention to this. I used to play it earlier on, and she didn't notice it, but the doctor told me to always put bright colors in front of her eyes just because it does develop their motor skills. And after I took her to the doctor, and he said she's just way beyond her age. And I think it's things like this that really help them. The songs definitely do get annoying after a while, but it lights up, and now that we're doing more and more tummy time, so I'll put her on her tummy and she'll just stare at it with it being the red flashing, and she just gets excited and riled up. It's by Baby Einstein, so this is awesome. Another thing that was a total lifesaver, because as a new parent, you want to avoid doing things to harm your child, obviously, and everything is scary for you as a first-time parent. So when I found this baby bath thermometer, oh no, not thermometer, the Duckymeter, it was the most amazing thing, because they had bought it for me and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, oh, I think it tells temperature, but how do you use it? Like, I literally had no idea how to use it. And then all we had to do is drop it in the water, and there's 3 colors. One is blue, which means the water's too cold for the baby. One is red, which means it's too hot for the baby, and green. So I love all of these like signals, like the red and the green. Like, it just makes it so easy when you have a baby that's crying, or they're cold, they're about to go into the bath. So I just run the bath, I put this in there, and when she's ready, I bring her in quickly and I put her in. Speaking of her bath, so the first couple of times we gave her bath, it was kind of traumatizing because she was just nonstop crying, and I've heard that babies love baths. So I was like, am I failing? What's going on? And I just realized she was super uncomfortable in her bath because she's too small for it. So she was a newborn, she was young, she was a little baby, and it was too rough and harsh on her, even though I had the infant insert in there. So I ended up going online and finding this, and I know a lot of you guys are mamas, you've probably seen it. It's wet right now. It's the blooming bath, and basically what I do is just put it in her bathtub, the little one that she has that she was super uncomfortable in, and I put this in there, fill it with water, and it becomes like warm for her, and it's cushiony, and I put her in there and she's super comfortable. It literally, the first week was so much anxiety because this was she was like yelling at the top of her lungs. Now that I put her in this, she's just like, and she loves it, so she stays in the bath longer. So I highly recommend that. Again, I'll leave a link. It was not expensive at all. The next thing is this baby. I've talked about it before, I'm a little devastated that she's about to outgrow it, but it's a DockATot Deluxe. This is literally the best thing ever, because I get to move her around anywhere and have her take naps anywhere. I've been trying to get her used to napping in different places aside from her crib, so if I ever take her anywhere, if we go out of town, she doesn't freak out and she realizes like, oh, it's okay, I'm just napping right now, it's cool. So she loves this thing. It's a little it's like a little tight, so it's cozy for her, and she immediately falls asleep when I put her in here for the naps. And then in the mornings at like 7 in the morning when she wakes up, I take this to my room and I put her in the bed next to me, and I just stare at her after I feed her. So highly recommend this DockATot. Have it when you come home from the hospital. It will come into handy because you're not going to constantly put them in the crib. You're going to be on the couch, and the first 2 months they're basically sleeping all the time, and you want them to be comfortable, and you put them on the couch next to you. It's like, I feel like it's like a great bonding experience too. They sit there and you just stare and you're like, oh, and then they do the little faces if they're dreaming, like, and you're like, ah, so you don't miss any milestones basically. And another thing that I have on my list is the little white noise machine. This one is by VTech. It's the little monkey, and someone had bought this for me, and I love it because aside from the white noise, it also has music. So during the day, if she's awake, I put some music on for her. It's a few songs only, but then I get to put it in her stroller. I get to put it in her car seat. So if she's taking a nap when we're out, I put it in her car seat, and the noise doesn't bother her. I just put the white noise on and she passes out. And I have another one in the room. White noise is super important for babies because it basically, what I've been told is that the noise is kind of similar to what it feels like to be in your womb, and it flushes out other noise as well. So if there's construction going on in your house, which there is at my house, if you put the white noise, they really don't hear it that much, so they don't wake up from it. So white noise, guys, highly recommend it. Next up, man, I didn't even know what these things were until I came home from the hospital, and they actually have it at the hospital, like right next to their little, like, what do they call those? Like next to their little bassinets, I want to say. And we brought that one home. We ended up ordering 5 more, and I literally have them all around the house because you just never know. I'm always using them. Aside from them being fed, and like if they spit up, like you could immediately go in the mouth and pull, like take it out. And then their little nose, she always has boogies in there, so we clean out her nose with this baby. It's awesome. This brand is Canary, and it literally came in a pack of 5. Next up, it's this Crane humidifier, and you could get any humidifier, but I love this one first of all because it was very affordable. It was $39, and it's awesome because it tells you if there's water or not in there by the color. It's right now you can't see it, but it's green when there's water in there, and it turns red when there's no water in there. And it's really easy to use. I really highly recommend a humidifier, especially in the wintertime. It's really, for us in LA, it's been really dry here, so she's literally had snot in her nose all the time. So I've been using a lot of this, and she can't breathe. She wakes up like, and I hear her breathing that way. So ever since I started using the humidifier, I had it, I never used it. Now I've been using it, and it's made a world of a difference. So highly recommend getting a humidifier for the room as well. I think that's it on my list. I've been thinking about this for a really long time. I'm like, okay, this is something, because like everyone has their own thing, but I feel like I've gathered everyone's and added a few more, and it's been awesome for me. All right, you guys, I hope you learned a few things by watching this video. If you're an expecting mother, please listen to me and get these things. It will save your life. You won't need to order off Amazon the last second when you bring your baby home like I did with a lot of these things. I'll leave links in the description below, and if you guys have any other videos, essentials videos that you want to see, leave some suggestions below, and I'll see you next time.